SportBet Extra. I'm your host, Paul. Monday through Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central. It is April 13th, 2026. It's a Monday. We are back from a long weekend with the Masters. What an okay showing there for the Masters. We got a great week this week, a busy today in the MLB. NBA playoffs are now starting, so we've got a lot to get into today on this beautiful Monday. And then, of course, we recap per usual. So let's just go ahead and get right into the show really quickly. We got a lot to talk about. Gotta love it. Gotta love when we have some technical difficulties, right? That's always great. So here we are. It's a Monday, and we're dedicating today's show to one of our unfortunate, yesterday, one of our family pets that has been around for years. She yesterday crossed over. So today, this show, man, I'm dedicating it to her. We're gonna make it a good one, and because of that, she's gonna help us get all these wins today. So that's what we need. That's what we're gonna get, and she's gonna bring it because look, let's pull up the record. Not gonna shy away from it or run from it. So here it is. Current NBA season, current MLB season, NBA 51-48-1. I mean, just about 52% win rate, not much there in the NBA, only plus 0.09 units in the NBA so far. And then MLB 20-21-2. So this weekend, it was tough this weekend. We lost about 6 units this weekend, 6 or 7, I believe it was. The Masters, we tried to get in on Jacob Bridgman there at the Masters. Unfortunately, he, as we figured, didn't have much experience on the course, so should have known, but we were getting a good price. The way he'd been playing, thought maybe we can get something going there. Excuse me, just didn't work out. So no on Jacob Bridgman there, winner for the Masters, obviously. So on to the rest of the weekend. A couple really close finishes. I mean, Giants-Orioles under 8.5 over the weekend. I believe that one was on Saturday or Friday. I mean, that score was 6-1, and then a little bottom of the ninth 2-run homer to send that over that total 8.5 pointless run that didn't do anything. Reds first 5 money line over the weekend. We got that one on Saturday. Yankees-Rays on Saturday under 7.5 was the total that we had, and of course goes to extra innings and we lose that one there. So just overall, not a pretty poor weekend, but look, we're here. It's a new week, so let's bounce back. Let's make this week something that let's just get into a good rhythm here. So that's where we are currently. The Masters, I watched it all weekend. It was great to me to watch. I mean, I saw about the comments that Rory made, right? Being able to just fly out however many days of the week, get a practice round in, and then fly back. I mean, look, he's got that advantage, and he used it to his advantage. There's nothing that says he can't do it. Other guys came to Houston. Other guys went to San Antonio, played some tournaments. He didn't. I mean, it is what it is. That's just how he prepared, and it showed, obviously, there. I was waiting for that collapse. I really thought that collapse was going to happen. I jumped in live on Scheffler there to start the day on Sunday, and he almost pulled through, just missed, a key putt, maybe a couple other shots that really could have been the difference there and gone to a playoff and maybe pulled out a win there. I think we were in at about 18-1 is the number we were at on Scheffler on Sunday. So it would have been nice to get that there, but it is what it is. Rory just pulled through, kept his momentum going, and pulled it off. So that's the Masters. Is a cool tournament though to see Rory go back to back. I mean, dude, it's good to see him have, I guess, some success there. Anyways, NBA playoffs. Let's just get right into the NBA playoffs. Are now set there. Couple games tomorrow. Heat Hornets, the 9 and 10 place game, and then you have the Blazers Suns, that 7th and 8th place game in the West. So looking at these matchups, let's just look and see right now. Currently, we know for sure Pistons in the 1 seed, Celtics in the 2 seed. Not sure yet who they're playing, but just looking at it, I'm gonna go with Magic and Hornets are gonna occupy that 7 and 8 seed. Sixers end up getting knocked out. Magic win that one. Heat, they lose to the Hornets probably, and then Hornets end up beating the 76ers to go ahead and lock up that 8 seed. So that's what we're going with. I'm going Magic and Hornets to move through there on the Eastern play-in tournament. And then looking at the West, you got, of course, Suns, Blazers, 7 and 8 seed there, and then Clippers, Warriors. As much as I like the Clippers, I feel like they don't get it done here for this game. So we're going to go Warriors to win that one. And then Suns to win probably the 7-8 matchup against the Blazers there, and then Blazers to beat the Warriors anyway. So I think that one stays almost as is. Suns in the 7th spot, Blazers in the 8th spot. And then we start looking at Thunder against Blazers possibly, and then Spurs against Suns first round. Then you've got Nuggets, Timberwolves, Lakers, Rockets in the first round. Man, that's an interesting matchup. Lakers, Rockets. Obviously, being a Houston fan, right? I want to see Houston win this one. Just got to see. I've got to double check on what the injuries are looking like for the Lakers. I haven't really looked yet as far as like who's in, who's out for this for the postseason. I'm gonna assume, LeBron. He's gonna be in there. Let's see if I can get some info on that real quick. Try and pull up the standings here and pull up a little bit of info that we've got on the Lakers and see what they've got working with. But I don't see much. Luka's going to be back. Well, still out indefinitely. So he's traveling. Okay, yeah, nothing great here. Nothing really that's going to move anything. So really, they're going to be relying on LeBron. That's really what the Lakers are going to be relying on. I don't know if that's going to be enough. I lean Rockets to win this series here, and then going on, if they do move on, looking at who that would be that they're at. Again, they're in the 5 seed there. We'd be looking at probably the Thunder. Probably taking on the Thunder there, and then that'll be a tough out, unfortunately. But it is what it is. Maybe we can jump in on Kalshi and see if we can get a future somewhere. I'm kind of curious what these numbers are because I haven't looked too much yet to see what the futures are for these playoff teams. So let's pull up Kalshi again. Use code Paul Rodney there. Get you a free $10. Just go get you a free $10. That's all you got to do. Let's pull up NBA, see what's going on. Maybe some futures there. Let's see. I'm trying to find all of our basketball stuff here. But again, I use Kalshi for futures. Get a little bit better number there than ProfitX and No Vig, I feel like, from what I've seen. May not always be the case, but that's usually where I'm going to look at first. So going into NBA here, Eastern Conference champion, Western Conference. You can even do pro basketball. You can do playoff qualifiers, right? Maybe get some something in there. Like I said, Hornets plus 128 right now to get in. I like them there at that price. Really, that's not too bad of a price, plus 128. I'd be leaning them there. But just looking as far as the champion, let's see what those odds are. Of course, Thunder, the favorite there, plus 113 currently they're trading at. San Antonio there in second at plus 455. Boston plus 528. Interesting team. And then Denver. A team with experience in Denver plus 943. That's a really great number that you get for a team like that. As long as these guys are healthy, that's a solid number. Plus 943. They can definitely hang with OKC San Antonio, they're that team with that experience in the playoffs that's really going to be tough to beat. San Antonio, I'm just not quite buying in yet. Maybe a year early here for them. Still a very young team. They'll probably end up winning the first series. Just don't know how far that young talent's going to take them without that real playoff experience. Besides what Harrison Barnes, that's about it. Looking down, Detroit plus 1772. That's a great number. And then Cavs. That's the one I'm kind of liking. Plus 1700 for the Cavs there as well. I mean, it's not like the East is going to be that difficult to get through for them. They've got to just beat the Raptors there, and then you've got to beat Pistons. And again, the Pistons, I'll have to see again. I can't recall whether or not Cade Cunningham is going to be out. But then the Pistons, we know the Pistons too. They're not a playoff team. They don't have that experience yet. When I say not a playoff team, they don't have that playoff experience yet. So that's one that, hey, if the Cavs, if they make something happen that second round, first round, get to the second round, they can easily move on at a plus 1700 number. I'd be looking to get in on the Cavs there, plus 1772. And then looking at Houston down there at plus 4,500, Lakers as well, 45, Minnesota 4,500. And then you get to the rest, plus 9,200. I wouldn't mind taking a little bit of a flyer on the Rockets there, plus, of course, plus 4,500. Even Timberwolves, plus 4,500 is not bad, but I'm leaning Cleveland. And the great thing about, again, Kalshi is you can cash out. So if we get that number plus 1772, they end up making it to the Eastern Conference Finals. We'll have a cash out option there, probably 2x of what we bought in at, 2 to 3x, somewhere around that range. And then if they do go on to the finals, then you really got a great number there. So look, Cleveland's a solid team. If they can fire on all cylinders, they're a tough team to beat. They've got shooters, especially with the addition of Harden. I've liked that addition. They can definitely get it done. I like Cleveland plus 1772. Let's see how the play-in tournament plays out before we end up getting in on any action, but we may be getting in with something by Thursday's show or maybe Wednesdays. We'll see where we're at and possibly get a future on there. But that's the way we're looking right now is Cleveland. We're just kind of leaning that way for NBA champion there. Let's get to the MLB. A lot of games today. Already one currently underway, almost over. Astros, Mariners there. Mariners currently up 6-2, bottom of the eighth with 2 outs. Runner on first, it looks like. So Astros struggling there, and they've been struggling this season. I mean, 6-10. They're fifth in the AL West there. Just not hitting very well, and also allowing way too many runs. The pitching is really atrocious for the Astros this year. Just has not been good at all. And I don't see that changing really anytime soon unless they make some moves. So Astros really not going to be much of a bet on team at the moment unless we see some other sort of changes. Let's go into the games that we do have. Diamondbacks, Orioles there. Let's see who we've got for our lineups. I am pulling up all the lineups, and you can see I don't have my monitor in front of me, but I do have another laptop that we are using here. So we're going to go take a look at what we've got there. Ryan Nelson, Dean Kramer. Dean Kramer going for Baltimore there at home against the Diamondbacks. I mean, he used to be a great pitcher. I mean, he used to be. He's solid right now, but he's, playing AAA. So I don't know. You can't really put too much stock into that when they're currently not even playing in the majors. So getting recalled for today's game, getting called up, so he'll get that start. Typically, I like to fade a team when they have a pitcher get recalled to come up and play a game due to injuries or whatever it may be. But it's Dean Kramer. It's a little bit different than some guy who doesn't have that experience. So just kind of looking at, what he's done, especially against this Diamondbacks lineup in the past. He's faced them a little bit, Perdomo, what is he's 3 at bats, 2 hits, 667 batting average. Corbin Carroll, 500 batting average. Vargas, 500 batting average. Nolan Arenado, 500. So these guys, even though they've seen them 3 times, 4 times, 6 times, they're hitting them. Again, it's against a guy getting recalled. It's hard to not fade him. I'd probably be leaning Diamondbacks here, first 5. But let's check Ryan Nelson for the Diamondbacks pitching and see just kind of what he's going up against. The righty there going up against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lefties of the Orioles. Nelson, I know we've talked about him before. He was there against that start against the Mets. I believe we had the over first 5 in that one. That one ended up not coming through, even though he allowed, 5 hits, 1 run, only 1 run, but he struck out 5. And look, this year, again, I said he wasn't. He's kind of an average pitcher. After that last game, he's been pitching much better. Lefties so far 161 batting average, righties 185. So he's actually doing very well against lefties, but allowing 3 home runs. So let's look at the lineup on the other side there for the Orioles. Got Gunnar Henderson, hits him 500. Taylor Ward 250 batting average. Alonso 455 batting average. So there's guys he's faced, obviously. Tavares, Colton Cowser, both 333 and 500 batting average there that they've been hitting. So both guys get hit. Both guys get rocked. And that's kind of what I'm expecting here tonight. Wind 13 miles an hour, 13 miles per hour blowing out. Over-unders 9 runs. Let's see, looking at Profit X, looking at No Vig, see what that first 5 number is. That's the way I'd be leaning for this game. Again, this is about to go off in about 20 minutes. So let's pull that up. Kind of curious what that first 5 number is. I like that a little bit more than I'm liking that full game 9 total. I expect these runs to come early. So first 5, over 5 is a plus 107. I mean, not bad, right? It's plus money. Over 4.5 minus 130. I think I'd rather lean the 5 for some plus money. If we get a push, we get a push. But that's plus 107. That's on Profit X. And then let me check Novig as well. One of the other ones that I use consistently, and just looking at that one. Arizona, Baltimore, first 5, over 4.5 minus 133. Yeah, no option, I believe, there for a 5. Profit X does have a 5. So that's the way I would lean, is over 5, first 5, plus 107 there on the Diamondbacks Orioles game. Fade Kramer making a start from AAA. Again, usually doesn't work out well for these guys. Either leading Diamondbacks money line and just fade Kramer on that one. Runs. Definitely runs. Cubs, Phillies, Javier Assad, and then Sanchez there. Not going to dig too much into that game. Washington Nationals there. Pittsburgh Pirates, Paul Skeens against Cade Cavalli. I know we've talked about Cade before. Obviously, we've talked about Paul Skeens as well. Just looking at the two, Paul Skeens, of course, he's been playing better after the atrocious, terrible, awful first game. Last game, played a little bit better, right? 6 Ks there. Still only 6 Ks is his highest mark on this season. I'd expect him to get more than that this game. It feels like, game 1, okay, getting back into the rhythm of the season. Game 2, 5 Ks, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 run. Okay, whatever. 77 pitches, only 5 innings. Got a little feel, got a better, needed that little better momentum. And then last game against San Diego there, go 6 innings, 87 pitches, and 6 Ks there. It feels like he's slowly going up and up and up, and I just want to know, what is his strikeout prop at? Because that may be where we want to look. Let's go see the strikeout props for him and pitcher props. Let's get to that on Profit X. Pitcher outs. Let's do strikeouts. Paul Skeens, over 6.5, minus 116. I mean, hey, that's not bad. Doesn't have a lot of history with these players that he's going up against this lineup. He has seen what is that? 4 guys, a total of 9 at bats, with 3 of those being strikeouts. So I'd probably be leaning that over 6.5 strikeouts for Paul Skeens. Like I said, it just kind of feels like he's getting better and better. Another home game here against this Nationals team, who's been pretty surprising so far in the season. 7-8, as pretty much average team there. Guys have been hitting well for the Nationals. Again, I'd be leaning probably an under for this game, but I like Paul Skeens strikeouts over 6.5. -116. That's a solid number there. That's the way I would lean. And then looking at Cade Cavalli on the other side there. Last game, very, very average. 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 run with only 3 Ks. And for him, walks have been an issue. Just like we talked about with Luis Severino, walks have been an issue for Cade Cavalli there as well. So let's see what he's at for walks. Over 2.5 plus 152. I love that number. Plus 152 for over 2.5 walks. I mean, hey, look, we might have to just get 2 plays on this game. I'm loving that for his walks. Again, what he's done so far this season, it's not like he's been that great against lefties. 357 batting average, 2 walks, and against righties, not a great batting average. I'm sorry, they haven't been hitting him. Only 0.87 batting average, but 7 walks against righties. And then we look at this lineup that we've got today. I mean, we've got both. It's a good mix of lefties and righties. Looks like we've actually got, what do we have here? Lefty-wise. Only 3 righties. Wish we had more in there. I mean, Spencer Horwitz is the only one who's taken a walk from Cavalli against facing him. I would lean here that walks are going to come by the masses here for Cavalli. I would lean that over 2.5 walks for him. It's just been an issue so far again this season. The control just quite hasn't been there. So I'd be leaning that over 2.5 at some nice plus money numbers there. Let's see what else we've got. Maybe talk one more game, and then we'll do the free play here at the end. Boston, Minnesota looks like that one's going to end up being rained out, so we'll have to see. I'll have to see if I get more info on that one. Marlins, Braves, Yuri Perez, Grant Holmes. I don't know if we're going to get on that one. And then Cleveland Guardians there, St. Louis Cardinals, Liberatore for the Cardinals, and Gavin Williams for the Guardians. Probably going to pass on those as well. Our good buddy Severino against the Rangers there at home against Nathan Eovaldi. So again, hey, if you like Severino walks, you got another chance to get it there. And then Dodgers Mets tonight. Dodgers have Robleski going against David Peterson for the Mets. The lefties Robleski. It looks like he's going against all righties on that Mets team there. It looks like the whole lineup full of right-handers. Let's see what he's been doing all season. Robleski, 2 starts so far this season, only 2 Ks per game. 4 walks last game, 1 walk the game before. Earned runs 3 the first game, 1 the second. So not too bad. Against lefties, 222 batting average. And then against righties there, which is a righty-heavy lineup tonight for the Mets, 167 batting average. 4 walks. So issues with walks against the righties. Again, no history that he's got with this team besides Tommy Pham there, 3 at-bats. And that's it. 0 batting average for him. So not a lot to go off on this one. Maybe another one to look at walks as well, but I just don't think that'll be much of the case this game. Mets are a team that do not like to walk, that will take those strikeouts or they'll swing, get ground outs, whatever it may be. So I don't know if I would quite lean an over on his walks. So let's get then to the play that we're going to go with today, and that's going to be Paul Skeens over 6.5 strikeouts. So let's see again where we're at for Paul Skeens over 6.5 strikeouts on ProfitX there. and then see what we've got on no vig as well. Again, the two major ones that I use. I'm not even going to look at Kalshi because usually don't get. I don't even think they've got their pitcher strikeouts. I'll have to look at that one again. So pitcher props, strikeouts thrown, Paul Skeens over 6.5 minus 102 for no vig. That's what we like to see. So let's lock that in there. That's going to be the free play. Again, if you go over to the Tails app, go search Paul Rami. You'll see all my plays. You can follow me there. You can subscribe as well. $20 a month comes about to like $5 a week. You'll get all my plays there. So we're going Paul Skeens over 6.5 strikeouts. And that's a minus 102 number on no vig. So that's a great number. Much better than minus 116 that we're getting on ProfitX. So we'll lock that one in. That's submitted over on the Tails app right now. So go check it out. The rest of the plays will be posted there shortly. As soon as we get off the stream, I'm going straight over, putting the rest of the plays in. And then I will be back tomorrow, the rest of this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, to talk about where we have finished and how we're doing each day. Look, again, we're going to have some great luck today. RIP Family Cat, going to miss you. This show's dedicated to you, and we're going to have some wins. She's going to bring us some good luck here. I will see you all tomorrow. Let's go, Paul Skeens. Keep that momentum going. Over 6.5 strikeouts. I will see you guys tomorrow.